Okay, it's a rather brisk day out here in the great forest of Kansas, like just above freezing. It's not. Nice and sunny, weather's kind of chilly. So I figured today would be a good day to do an upgraded poncho liner basically from USGI. It is made to work in conjunction with their poncho and poncho liner, of which I don't have. This is a Camp Shield blanket. It's 60 by 75 inches. Comes with a compression sack, and it is stuffed into this. It weighs 2.2 pounds, runs in at about 40 bucks, which isn't too bad. I wasn't quite for sure what it was when I first got it. I mean, quality-wise and whatnot. And it stuffs into a little bigger, so I was wondering just what the hell. Opened it up, and it was kind of like, I was kind of impressed with this. It's thicker than your regular poncho liner, so it adds in some extra bulk, but it's a lot warmer. It's polyester, it's ripstop, as you can see by this. Comes in 4 or 5 different colors. You got woodland, marpat, blaze orange, coyote, and I don't remember the other. I think it's Arctic blue. Right out of the gate. But let's see what it is. It was definitely stuffed in here a little neater when I first got it. I've been using it. It works quite well. I think I would consider this a 50 to 60 degree blanket. It'll probably keep you alive down into the 40s, but it's gonna suck. And maybe even more so if you do some work. With the poncho and poncho liner added to this, and some loft off the ground to where you can get 3 or 4 inches off the ground, because the ground is quite a heat sucker. As you can see, it's quilted, very nicely quilted. It's got snaps all the way around, or not all the way around, down both long sides, so you can kind of turn it into sort of a sleeping bag. Keep it closed or partially closed. Wear it as a cloak, snap it around. The only problem with doing it as a sleeping bag is the bottom's open. But if you've got a little preparation for that, those little not alligator clips, but the plastic crocodile clips, I think, that have the tie downs, you could clip them on to close this up. In an emergency, you could use a blanket pin, but I don't like using blanket pins on this, just poking holes. If you do, go right through the seam of where it's already sewn, and that'll make your bag live longer. Polyester and pins, they don't heal very well. And as you can see, this snaps together pretty well. These snaps are new, I haven't used them much, so they're still tighter than crap. And as this, you could run it as a cloak if you're moving. And like your typical poncho liner, it doesn't do really good in the wind. I mean, the wind will tend to blow through it somewhat. And I've seen complaints where they said that this wasn't warm. It's actually, I think it's fairly warm. It's not warm like a wool blanket, and the loft in it has a lot of airspace, to the point where at night you could take your cell phone, put it underneath it, hit it to where the screen lights up, and you can actually see the light through the liner. Poncho liners do the same thing. Some blankets will do that, so that's not really saying much, but it just kind of surprised me. Being dark color camouflage, I figured it wouldn't, but it did. But I've been using this actually on my bed. I carried it around in the car for a while. It'll probably go back in the car, seeing it's winter and it's colder than crap. That it could be very handy. I don't like getting trapped out. Like I said, the snaps are new, so until you get those broken in, you got to be kind of careful with them, because it's polyester. You could tear through it. It'll snap to the side, like I said, to where you can wear it around yourself if you're sitting somewhere. You don't want this anywhere near a fire. Sparks, it'll fuse it. polyester, nylon, any man-made material, and fire really doesn't combine. You don't want this catching on fire because it'll melt straight into your skin, and it just is a horrific wound. Seen it, it's not pretty. So don't do that. Just be careful if you're around fire. But as an emergency, blanket for your car, and I think the poncho liner and the poncho are about $50 each. I don't have those, but all three combined would probably be a pretty fair system, because the poncho would be windproof, and these two lofted together would be pretty warm. Actually, sitting right here right now, it is keeping some of the wind off, and it's probably 35 degrees at the moment, and I'm pretty warm. If I was smart enough to grab something to sit on or tuck a bit of this under me, because this is supposed to be water resistant, which is not proof by any way, shape, or form, but it will keep off a little bit of water. But now that it's under me, like I said, if you're gonna use it, make sure you got loft under you to get you off the ground if you have to sleep out rough, because the ground will suck the heat just straight from you. Because just sitting here this long, my butt was getting cold from sitting on the ground. Putting this under helps some, but it won't help enough. USGI Industries, and they call this the Camp Shield. And like I said, it was $40. Nice little bit of kit. I kind of like it. I might look into getting the poncho and poncho liner from them. This is quality, pretty well made in the USA, according to what I looked up on the internet. Let's see if it says on here. Doesn't say on here. Net said everything they have is made in the USA, so we'll take them at that, and that's always a good bargain as I'm concerned.